Candidate will have a minute 30 for your final thoughts to the audience and to the voters. And we will start with Mr. Weber.
I'm running for Congress because the Obama administration has put our country into a tailspin. $15 trillion in red. The country that we grew up in, we're losing, folks. We're not going to have this country much longer at this rate. One out of 4 mortgages are underwater. Median income is down since 2009. And for the first time ever, our national credit rating has been downgraded. In Obama's first, and I hope only term, he has unleashed big government with a vengeance. He's created czars, he's created agencies, he's done an end around, he's bypassed Congress. He's going to ruin our country. I believe we need more like the Texas model in Washington, D.C., the part-time legislators, those who have to live under the laws that we make, those that understand business, those that understand conservative family values, those that know there is no separation of church and state. We are the church. We are the state. How do you separate us? You cut us here or here? We make every decision with our God-given talents in the country that He's given us based on those values. If we don't protect the sanctity of life and protect this great land called America, we're going to lose it. President Ronald Reagan believed in American exceptionalism. He said that if we ever forget we're one nation under God, we will be a nation gone under. And we're this close. And I aim to make a difference if you'll hire me. I'm Randy Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. Mr. Truncale.
Thank you. The promise of America is that everyone is entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not life, liberty, and the redistribution of wealth. Are we going to keep that promise? We're at a crossroads in America. This election will determine whether we will be a nation of big government or limited government. A nation of higher taxes, excessive regulation, and massive debt, and Obamacare, or more opportunities in the private sector. This election will determine whether our nation will be a nation where more people are dependent upon government, or whether they're going to find opportunities in the free enterprise system. This election will determine whether our nation will have foreigners deciding our fate, or whether we will actually achieve energy independence. I think we can work together to put America on the pathway to prosperity, but we need a citizen taxpayer, not a politician in Washington. We need a congressman of action, not of words. We need someone who is responsible to his neighbor and accountable by deed to our shared conservative values. And that's why I ask for your support so that we can move our nation forward and make this congressional district the rising star of the Gulf Coast.
Thank you, Mr. Truncale. Mr. Sargent.
Hi. The job that I'm seeking is not one where you want somebody who has to have on-the-job training. You need somebody with experience, but you don't want somebody who's a career politician. I've served on Capitol Hill for over 20 years. I know what it's like. I've never run for office. I'm 68 years old, and I don't expect to be there for a very long time like Mr. Pepper and others. I've dealt with Nancy Pelosi. I've dealt with a lot of members of Congress, and I know what to expect. I'm not sure the other people who are sitting here in front of you do. We need people who will make righteous decisions. We need people who will base their decisions on the Constitution. We need people who will not be blown around by the wind, by what the polls say. We need people who will not just hold the line on spending, but have serious debt reduction. Stand behind it. Need people who will support a strong military. And people who will support the free market economy. I'm that person. That's where I'm coming from. That's what I stand for. I'm not a public servant. I've been a public servant all my life. But I've never run for office before. If you want a constitutional conservative who knows where he's getting into, then I'm your guy. I ask for your vote. I ask for your support. I thank you for this time together. I ask the Lord to bless each one of you, and God bless our nation.
Thank you, Mr. Sargent. Mr. Old.
Last September, when we started this campaign, I talked to you about growing up in Jefferson County, about making sandwiches for you at Jason's Deli and selling you clothes at Butch Hopper's in the mall, or walking the beach and hunting and fishing here. We need conservative leaders in Washington. Leaders who know this district. I want to be your conservative voice in Washington. You know, parts of America believe America's down. They believe the American dream doesn't exist anymore. And there are far too many politicians out there running for office. They're running for themselves, not for the people who sent them to do their jobs. I'm in this race because I love this community, because I want to secure its future. I believe in America's greatness. I believe the American dream is alive, and our future ahead of us is bright. My plan, I want to go to Washington to work for you. Stop the out-of-control spending. Rein in regulation. Fix our health care without socializing medicine. Build the Keystone Pipeline. I want a government that follows the Constitution, that's limited in size, and that the power is held by the people. I want to build the things Americans buy the things that Americans build, and sell them to the world. I'm Jay Old. Join me and I'll help you amend the Congress, not the Constitution, and secure our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mancius.